good afternoon to everyone viewing, live streaming the Cricket West Indies T20 Blast tournament here in Guyana. Female regional cricket, as they take the knee, the whistle goes, and they roll up. Welcome to the Guyana National Stadium at Providence. Good afternoon. This is the second game of day 4 matches. Match number 11. Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago won the toss and they've decided to bat. The umpires for the game, Nigel Dugan, back in action along with Nan Kumar Shiv Sankar, with Shannon Crawford as standby umpires. So Mr. Dugan given the signal, I believe, and we're about to start. The Windwards are out there in the middle, and Renice Boyce, the right-hander, will face Trinidad and Tobago batting. Karina Noel, I make it, will bowl from the far end of the ground. So the first game, match number 10 today, Barbados versus Jamaica. Barbados 129 for 4. Haley Matthews a well-played 74 not out. Howell with 2 wickets, and Jamaican reply couldn't get there. 104 for 6 with Nation, 26 Henry, 24 Taylor, 18. And 2 wickets for Allen, with Bruce, Selman and Williams 1 wicket apiece. They lost Jamaica by 25 runs. So Barbados, 4 matches, 4 wins. The perfect tournament for them as defending champions. Clyde Butts is alongside me. Good afternoon, Clyde. Trinidad and Tobago, on the other hand, I believe with 6 points under their belt, would want to play well against the Windward Islands.
Good afternoon to you, Matthew. And sure, I think both of these teams here will want to win and give themselves some more points. As we see, Noel just bowling outside the off stump. Boyce just standing there and fishing outside the off stump. Ball wide of outside off stump, not getting a touch.
Pushed out towards cover, still unable to score. The Windwards team for you, Afi Fletcher, the captain. Then we've got Glasgow Edward, that's Malika Edward, Homer Turton, the wicketkeeper, Stacey Ann Adams, Zayda James, Pearl Etienne, Ashlini Edward, Kiana Joseph and Karina Noel. So Homer Turton and Stacey Ann Adams coming in from the last game for Joseph Peters, that's Akira Peters and Byron. That's a short lifting delivery, and she steered it down, got on top of it, steered it down to the third man area for 4. Force runs from the bat of Renice Boyce. So Trinidad and Tobago are off the mark, 4 without loss. Short lifting delivery. And the Trinidad side for you, Renice Boyce just got that boundary. Janaba Joseph, Brittany Cooper, Chanel Lord, Leanne Kirby, Anissa Mohammed, the captain, Corbinia Alexander, Karishma Harak, Kamara Ragubar. Turned away to the left side, into the left side behind square. They come through for a single. 1 more to the total. It's 5 without loss. Kamara Ragubar, Steffi Sugrim, and Leandro Ramdeen coming in for Rachel Vincent from that last game. So just 1 change for the Trinidad and Tobago side and 3 changes for the Windwards side.
Yeah, and I guess both teams will be looking here for a victory. They want some pride as well, not only to just turn up. And I guess should Trinidad and Tobago win this game, or both teams win in this game, they still have a chance of maybe looking to end up in a number 2 position. You never know. You never know what can happen with cricket. Jamaica could well lose their last game. One never knows what will happen in this game of cricket. So I think both teams are looking to try and get to that third spot and maybe a second place. So after that first over. Not a bad one for the Windward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago, there was an edge down to third man for 4, so they would be happy that they've got after a decent start as well.
Second over, Etienne to Boyce. Yes, and I agree with you in terms of points. Both sides, of course, Trinidad and Tobago got those 2 points from the washed out game against Guyana, and then they beat the Leewards. Now they're playing the Windwards, which obviously a better side. They've done well with ball in hand and in the fielding department. Dropped. Short outside the off stump. She went after it. It went to Afi Fletcher. I make it a slip, and it dropped out of her hands.
Yeah, and I think you cannot afford this early in a game to actually drop catches. That was a delivery that was short of a length, outside off some. She was looking to hit it maybe behind point on the offside, got the edge, flew to slip, and was put down. So, first chance, and we've seen so many chances go begging in this regional competition so far.
Well, that wasn't Fletcher's slip. I'll tell you who that is in a moment. Fletcher is at mid-on. Looks like Ashlini Edward. That slip.
Driven nicely up to mid-off, unable to get a single. That was timed nicely. Nice drive, nice feel on the bat for Boyce. So she'll be feeling good that she's actually hit that one in the middle of the bat.
Slip in a white third man, backward point cover, extra cover mid-off. On the offside, there's a mid-on, mid-wicket, and a fine leg on the boundary.
Going for a big heave over the probably looking to hit that over mid-on. Got the outside edge, and it flew down to third man, and they were able to take an easy single. And what Etienne is trying to do is to take the ball just outside the off stump and try and get it to leave the right-hander. She's got one edge so far. Well, 2 edges. One flew to for a slip, and the other one went past where a third man position would be. Nicely played up to mid-on. Doesn't get a run. End of the second over. A good one for the bowler. And certainly Etienne has been around for a long time. That was a good over, keeping things fairly tight, not giving the batsman any room to play their shot. So that's a good start.
2 overs gone, 6 without loss. Noel continues our second over from the media center end. Boyce 6 from 12. Janaba Joseph just faced the final delivery of the second over.
Delivery. Going down the leg side, looking to swing away to leg. Hit on the pads, unable to get a run. This is the second pitch the tournament is being played on. Of course, all the other games are played on the one to the far right of us. So we're down to the left of the square now. And what I found this morning, that it had a little bit more carry than those pitch, and the ball bounced a little bit more. And I guess it is a new pitch. It's not a pitch that has been played on a lot of times like the other one. So we did see a little bit of bounce, a little bit of carry, and I think that would continue in this game as well.
Were you surprised that that pitch was mainly used for the matches, most of the matches, if not all so far?
Not really. I think you have to take the weather conditions into consideration as well, and with rain falling nearly every other day on the rest days, it probably would have been difficult for the ground staff to get more pitches going.
has lofted over the mid-on area. They've taken one, they'll come back for a second. That's Renee's Boyce. A lofted shot, high in the air over the mid-on area. Cleared the 30-yard circle and they picked up 2. She's gone up to 8 from 15 deliveries.
Down the leg side, wide signal. This one probably looking to strive for a little bit more pace. I'm bowling it down the leg side. And that's the other thing in this tournament. We have seen a lot of wides down the leg side. We've seen some no balls. And mostly the no balls have been full pitch deliveries. Not really overstepping. I think we did see Selman overstepping this morning. But most of those no balls would have been full pitch deliveries above the waist. Wrapped on the pad, they go for a quick leg by and they'll get it easily. Well, that must have come off the bat because the umpire has not signaled. So a run off the bat.
And it's good to see the Windwards, of course. They've got that aim in mind to not give away much extras. Only one so far given away, that wide.
I think all the teams don't want to give away that extra. But it happens.
I think the key is to keep improving.
Noel not getting her line right in this over. Probably trying to bowl a little too straight. And just hitting the pads again, going out on that onside. Another run. Leg by.
3 overs gone. 11 without loss. Trinidad and Tobago winning the toss and electing to bat here.
And I think the Windward Islands would be happy. Happy with that. Because when you've started and you've bowled 3 overs, 11 runs, you can say, well, you're doing well in the power play. You've only got 2 fielders out of the circle. And I think that's good bowling, good tight stuff.
And you've got to be impressed with the Windwards' work in the field, especially and with ball in hand. They've done well. To my mind, the few games I've watched with them,
they have bowled well in the competition. I think their batting is what has let them down a little.
they improved against Jamaica, getting to 90. After scores of, well, they chased against the Leewards 57, and then if I'm correct, they were bowled out for 66. So getting to 90 against Jamaica, not bad. It wasn't good enough for such a strong side, but they can certainly do well here, depending on what comes out of the Trinidad and Tobago batting display this afternoon, since they won the toss and have decided to bat first. If they get up to 100 plus, Windwards will have to continue to improve in their batting department. They'll have to score more than 90 plus to win. So they'll have to bat for sure. Loud appeal. Flashing outside the off stump, went low to the keeper. To her right. They thought she got a nick onto that one. What do you make of it, Clyde?
Well, the umpire is in the best position to judge. A delivery that was pitched up wide outside the off stump. She's looking to drive it through the offside and missed it. Didn't get the edge. That is what's taken by the wicketkeeper. Certainly good delivery, good away movement from Etienne. This time right on target. Batsman having to come down on that one. Ball pitched up fairly full. And Etienne showing her experience here. Bowling very tight, not giving anything loose to the Trinidad and Tobago openers.
Under a little bit of pressure, Joseph faced 7 balls, hasn't scored as yet. That completes 4 overs in the Trinidad and Tobago innings after winning the toss They're 11 without loss.
Not a good over from Etienne, which caused some trouble to the batter, and that was a maiden actually. So well bowled by Etienne. We haven't seen a lot of those in this tournament so far, but it was a very good over, bowling on or about the off stump, got a few deliveries to leave the right hander, and certainly the Windwards are doing well at the moment. When you've lost the toss and you've been asked to bowl, you know, and you go out there and you bowl well and keep things fairly tight. Yes, you haven't gotten a wicket, but you've finished 4 overs in the power play and the batting side is on 11. You've done really well.
So it's Glasgow who would have bowled those 2 overs from the far end. 2 overs for 9 runs. Etienne, 2 overs, 1 maiden, none for 1 run, no wicket. So both opening fast bowlers have kept it tight. And now we'll have a change in bowling. Kiana Joseph, the left-hand orthodox spinner, comes into the attack.
Right on target, first delivery, bringing Boyce on the front foot, pushing it out on the offside, unable to get a run. This could be a run out. Oh, she attempts to throw at the striker's end first, then realizing it was the non-striker that was coming out, turn short of that end. Ball just dropping in front of the bowler who was unable to take it. And those are chances that you have to try and take earlier on in a game. Had that gone straight or had that hit the stumps, I'm sure Joseph would have been run out.
She would have been a direct throw, of course, and or even if Kiana Joseph had taken that with her right hand and attempted to disturb the stumps. But that was a quick return from Afi Fletcher, the captain, in the mid-wicket area. But she was halfway down the track looking for a single that really wasn't on. The quicker between the wickets, of course, of the two, the quick of the two. But Boyce wasn't interested in that run, really. She did come down a couple of steps and then turned and regained her ground.
This is good tight stuff from Windwards. Joseph keeping things very tight. She's looking to heave this one out to long on. It goes high in the air and the catch is taken out at long on. So Trinidad and Tobago has lost their first wicket. A delivery that was pitched up. Instead of looking to hit straight, she was hitting slightly across the line. Out to long on. Catch easily taken in the deep. And Trinidad and Tobago has lost their first wicket with 11 runs on the board. And we're in the 5th over.
A good wicket to get. The change coming. Kiana Joseph, she's bowled well in the tournament as well. Good little all-rounder for the Windwards. She can bat as well. And she's picked up the first scalp with Boyce going back. Caught it deep mid-on off the bowling of Kiana Joseph for 9. 11 for 1 in the 5th. The Windwards have struck. And they'll be very happy that they've picked up a wicket early without nothing much on the board. Just 11.
And the top order for Trinidad and Tobago continues to struggle. I don't think they've had a good start in the tournament so far.
So the batters did cross. Joseph is on strike. Brittany Cooper is the new batter at the non-strikers end.
End of a wonderful over, an excellent over from Joseph. That's a wicket maiden to Joseph, bowling well, keeping the batters on the front foot, not giving them any width or any room to play their shots. And what a dream start the Windward Islands is having. 5 overs, 11 runs, 1 wicket. That's a dream start. Excellent start on the power play.
What the doctors ordered, 2 consecutive maiden overs. And they've certainly given their team a good start here. They've got the Trinidad and Tobago side under pressure. Brittany Cooper will take strike over number 6, about to start. And joining me is a very good friend and brother, Mikuwanya Israel. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Matthew. Good afternoon to our viewers listening and watching. Coming from Providence on the east bank of Guyana. It's a nice game here. I'm enjoying it.
Good start for the Windwards. As we said, their bowling and fielding has been good in the tournament. Just their batting has let them down. Afi Fletcher, the captain, comes into the attack over number 6. And we know of her ability, what she's done down through the years, not only for the Windwards but for West Indies as well. 11 for 1 in the 6th over.
Yes, definitely, Matthew. This is, as Clyde was saying, this is a dream start for the Windwards. Real pressure being exerted on the ladies from Trinidad and Tobago. So Windwards now would want to keep their foot on the gas and not let up. And Trinidad have got to try to dig themselves out of this hole just a bit.
You look at the bowling for Windwards. Glasgow started from the far end, 2 overs for 9 runs. Very good. Etienne, 2 overs, 1 maiden. Right, just 1 run has come off of her 2 overs. And Kiana Joseph, a wicket maiden, her first over. Swept fine by Brittany Cooper. Gets herself off the mark.
Some smart, cautious cricket being played here by the Trinidadians. See them just leaving the ball outside the off stump, not looking to take that risk to maybe play a cover drive or so. And that one she just swept down there, running down to the fine leg area, fielded by Malika Edwards. So it's smart, cautious cricket at the moment.
Joseph is on strike. That's well bowled on the line of the middle stump. She walked into the shot, played it away into the leg side, picked up at mid-wicket. That's by Stacey Ann Adams at mid-wicket, who comes into play again, moving to her left this time. As the over comes to an end, 6 overs have been completed. The power play overs gone. Very poor power play for the Trinidad and Tobago batting side, 12 for 1. They're under a lot of pressure here now against a good Windwards bowling side and fielding side. It's been pressure for them. On the other hand, the Windwards will be very happy for this start.
Yes, they would. The captain, she is setting her field just right. As I said, she'd want to keep the pressure on. But we saw in the last game that Trinidad played, they had a similar start. Maybe just a bit worse than this, but they managed to get to the triple figure, which is like gold dust so far in this tournament. So we've got to see if they can pull off the same heroics as they did in their last match.
Yes, 4 scores of over 100. Jamaica started with 133. Then Trinidad. And now in the first match for today, Barbados and Jamaica. 4 scores of over 100 in the batting department. Edged by Brittany Cooper. It went low to slip. She got both hands to the ball, but the ball, I believe, went on her hands, or it went so quickly to her that maybe her reflex action, that's Ashlini Edward that slipped.
Yeah.
And they picked up a couple of runs, 2 runs to Cooper. too short on that occasion, and she had all the time in the world to pull that to mid-wicket deep, where Glasgow fields, and she gets a single as Joseph comes back into strike.
She just managed to find the fielder there on that one. This one played out to the offside, just in the backward point region. Seems as though the bowler is bowling a good steady line here.
Brilliant work in the field by Zayda James, the young lady who actually missed the first couple of matches due to her writing CXC.
Yes.
You've got to learn to balance education with sports, and she batted well for 22 in that last game.
Yes, definitely, Matthew. That is a very important point. I mean, education in sports. I think when we look at some of the world's greatest athletes, we all see how educated they are. So, you know, we'd want to ensure that we emulate that. Oh, what a catch there by Zayda. That was excellent. That was a beauty to watch. Just stuck out that left hand and taken that spectacular catch. That was pretty.
Joseph down the track, flashed at it, leading edge. Zayda James, very busy like, moved a little to her left, stuck the left hand out, took the catch, and that's the end of the opener. She did not score after facing 14 balls, if I'm correct. The total is 16 for 2 after 7 overs. Not very good for Trinidad and Tobago here at this stage. They've lost now both openers, and one did not score after facing 14 deliveries.
Well, that is just amazing for a T20 tournament. She was leaving quite a few balls outside of the off stump, but to not score in 14 deliveries, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your team. So we want to see if Trinidad can get themselves out of this, because they are behind with a projected score of only 46 at this time, a run rate of just 2.29, which is not good.
Chanel Lord, the new batter, number 20 on her shirt. And the young Zayda James comes into the attack, left-hand orthodox spinner, and that's cut away. Nice shot down behind point, and a boundary to Brittany Cooper, who can be very dangerous for Trinidad and Tobago if she gets going. You give her a chance, she's going to notch up runs very quickly for her side. 20 for 2. Cooper's gone up to 8 from 8.
Well, that is exactly what Trinidad need at this time. They need some more boundaries, but with how it is tensely poised at this moment, they also want to ensure that they keep some wickets in hand and not give anything away as well. So they've got to find that balance. But Windwards on top of the moment.
Her first bowling stint, I would make it. Zayda James.
Seems as though you can't keep her out of the game, Matthew. We just saw she did a wonderful stop in the field, then that spectacular catch, and now she's into the attack.
Good cricketer for the Windwards. They probably would have missed her in the first couple of matches, but that would have been a genuine miss. You've got to write exams, you've got to do well.
Yeah, most definitely. I would always encourage any sports person to get that education in, you know. That's something that no matter what happens to you, your education is yours. I mean, you can go on the cricket field and you can have a career-ending injury, but your education remains intact. Of course, all things being equal. So
yes, Quite agree with you. The good scripture says, a man's gifts make room for him in life. That's a lovely shot off the back foot and crashed through the covers for 4. Beautifully done there by Chanel Lord. In fact, that scooper, she gets a boundary. .24 for 2 now in the 8th over. That was a lovely shot. And that was Lord who picked up that boundary there. The return comes in quickly from point. That was a lovely shot.
Yeah, what I love about that shot, Matthew, was the placement. Just placed so beautifully through the covers for 4.
Eight overs gone. Trinidad and Tobago winning the toss and batting 24 for 2.
Quiana Joseph continuing with her left arm round the wicket. The batter's picking up a single there, a quick single. Good to see that positive intent from the Trinidad and Tobago players. Oh, yeah. And that's out. Umpire Duguid raising the dreaded finger. It just looks like she tried to flick that one and play across the line, Matthew, and missed it completely. And the team went up and the umpire Duguid upheld their appeal.
3 wickets for this young lady Quiana Joseph. 3 for 4. She's in her 3rd over. And Lord has gone for 4, the scoreboard says. Joseph a duck, Renee's boys 9. Now Lord has gone for 4. 24, 3 in the 8th over. So no partnerships at all for the Trinidad and Tobago top order. Leg before wicket to the bowling of Quiana Joseph for 4.
Now this is where it gets interesting, Matthew. Out comes the gunner, Leanne Kirby. In the last match, it would have been her heroics that actually rescued Trinidad and helped them to get up to that triple figure score. So we want to see if she can reproduce a similar performance here today.
Yes, you know, she's been around for a while, and probably 2 of the more experienced batters out there in the middle now, herself along with Brittany Cooper, would want to stay there and give their team a good fighting chance with a good score. But they're up against it now. 24-3. I make it 26 in fact for 3. The scoreboard says 26 for 3. I beg your pardon. And over number 9,
Kirby to face her first delivery. Soft hands, just played it down, respecting the bowler there, getting herself in.
what I like about the Windwards is that they've kept it tight and they've only given away 3 extras so far. Loud appeal, flashing shot by Kirby. Little bounce there from Quiana Joseph and taken by Turton. She went up along with maybe 2 other players from the Windwards. Not out, says umpire Nigel Duguid, the very experienced international test umpire.
Yeah, you gotta wake up very early to try and pull one over on Mr. Duguid there.
Back and punches it out to Stacey and Adams with extra cover. So Fletcher, 1 over for 1 run. Glasgow, 2 overs for 9. James, our first over, cost 9 runs. Etienne, 2 overs, 1 maiden, 1 run, no wicket. Looking for a single, played to backward point. Again, lovely work from Zayda James at point. Good feel in that position. The over comes to an end. It's 9 gone, if I'm correct. 26 for the loss of 3. Etienne, as I said, 2 overs, 1 maiden, none for 1. And Kiana Joseph, 3 overs, 3 for 5. Look at those bowling figures.
Yeah.
And she's picked up all 3 wickets to have fallen. Joseph for a duck, Boyce for 9, and Lord for 4. None getting into double fingers.
Yeah, the bowling figures look great, but the batting card not so spectacular. These two at the crease would want to try and get a partnership going, get something going to try to get to that, maybe that triple figure score. Right now our projected score says 62, which just may not be enough here. So they'd want to, push a bit to get up to a somewhat respectable total.
Fletcher continues, of course, in her second over. 27 for 3. Leanne Kirby, I think she's a vice captain. I might be right. I think she is a vice captain, the right-hander. That's turned away for a quick single towards square leg. Stacey and Adams comes in. Sorry, I beg your pardon. That's Malika Edward. Down at backward square. Inside the 30-yard circle. Afi Fletcher, the veteran. Great service for the Windwards over the years, and West Indies has pulled away. Nice shot down to the mid-wicket boundary area where Etienne fields. The ball slips out of her hand as she attempted to send the return in, and they come back for 2. Looks comical, doesn't it, at times when that happens? But the ball slipped out of her hand as she attempted to rifle the return in from the mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, I think it may just be just a little bit damp out there in the outfield because we've had a lot of rain. So that one may have just slipped out of her hands. A bit of misfortune there. Caused them a single. But it's really not her fault. Poor Etienne.
Short outside the off stump, punch towards cover by Brittany Cooper. .30 for 3. Quick single taken. Went through the hands of Fletcher. Not quite tidied up by Glasgow.
Yeah, she missed that one completely there, Matthew. Even Cooper, the Trinidad and Tobago bat, she was looking for the second, but Kirby was scampering to get home, and she had already run way past the stump. So there was no chance of a second run there.
Wraps around the pad. Out leg before. The experience of Fletcher coming into play here. A beautiful delivery. Kirby just pushed the bat at it, missed completely. It cannoned into the pads, and that's the end of Leanne Kirby. She's gone for 1, I make it. According to our scoreboard here, it's 31 for 4 now.
Yeah, the dismissal looks very similar to the previous one. How Chanel Lord got out. It just seems as though there just may be a bit of movement coming off the pitch, and they were just using the bat just to maybe try to work the ball putting across the line, but missed it completely. And this time umpire Shiv Sankar upholding the appeal. And that's the end of Leanne Kirby.
So we're at the halfway mark. Trinidad and Tobago winning the toss and batting. 31 for 4. We're at the halfway mark with Cooper on 14 from 16 balls, and Kirby just out leg before wicket to the bowling of Fletcher for 1. Fletcher 1 for 10. Joseph 3 for 5 from 3 overs. The wicket takers so far for the Windward Islands. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the second half of the innings. So welcome back to the National Stadium at Providence here in Guyana, where Kiana Joseph will start her final over. 3 for 5, make that 3 for 6. First ball to Brittany Cooper, turned away to square leg for a single, picked up by Etienne. The score now up to 32 for 4. So the latter half of their innings now, can the Trinidad and Tobago batters pick up the tempo and give them a good total? Anisa Mohammed, the captain, is out there. She will take her first ball from the left-hand orthodox spinner. Back cutting, lovely shot. Bisecting backward point and cover and down to the boundary for 4. That was a superb stroke played by the Trinidad and Tobago captain. She can bat, and she's got off the mark in fine style.
Oh, that shot brought a smile to my face, Matthew. It was just so well timed. She just got back on the back foot and just caught that one square for 4. Beautiful stuff here coming from Providence. Well played by the skipper. A lot is on her shoulders at this time with the fall of Kirby. So let's see how she progresses.
That would have probably spoilt the figures of Kiana Joseph a bit, that boundary. 3 for 10 now.
Yeah. And just looking at that last shot there by the skipper, showing exactly how they need to play Kirby with a straight bat, you know, killing the spin and protecting her stumps. I think the other 2 batters, they were just trying to work it leg side and missed, and that's how they got in trouble with the LBW decisions.
Beautiful bowling by Kiana Joseph. Well left alone by Anisa Mohammed. Very watchful. She's the captain. She wants to stay there and probably bat to the end of the innings. That should be her aim, her goal, to give her side a decent total.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she should be looking for. And well played again. Well played defensive shot. So it's a good over there by the skipper, mixed with a bit of aggression and also some caution. So after 11 overs, the score now 36 for the loss of 4. Joining me now is my good experienced friend, Mr. Clyde Butts. Good day to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Yomi. Well, you see, you're looking very dapper this afternoon. Huh?
Thank you.
Some excellent bowling from the Windward Islands. So far, they've kept things fairly tight. They've gotten wickets as well, so They have done really well, and Trinidad and Tobago, who would have won the toss and decided to bat, has not really played the type of cricket that we know they can play.
Oh, that was a close one there, Clyde. Drop by the fielder Stacey and Adams. We already saw a beautiful catch taken by Zeta James, just sticking out that left hand, but this time Stacey Adams just couldn't hold on.
Well, it would have been a good catch as well, because she was diving away to her left to take that catch. So, and it was well timed by Brittany. It wasn't a delivery that was just pushed. It was timed nicely. Wide of her at mid-wicket, she came across, was unable to hold on. This is driven down to mid-off, unable to get a run. Tightness continues, and we all know Afi Fletcher, she's a very good bowler. She's an excellent leg spinner. Loves to take wickets. Loves to keep the pressure on the batting side.
Well stopped.
She could be another run out. That was very close again. As the batter was sweeping down to backward square, was looking for a run. It wasn't there. And then she took her time to get back in. It wasn't like she dived in. So Trinidad and Tobago not really communicating well between the wickets here.
Yeah, the skippers there at the crease. This is like a beautiful chess battle going on here with the two skippers battling out Afi Fletcher versus Anisa Mohammed. Seeing one looking to get on top of the other. Anisa Mohammed looking positive today. Played a beautiful square cut, Clyde, when she first got to the crease. Oh, well.
That's certainly another dangerous run. That was hit out to short mid-wicket. The fielder coming across quickly, did not pick up the ball cleanly. Hence she fumbled a little, and the batter was able to get into her crease. But those are not runs that you need to be taken at this time with your team in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, she was struggling there. She was struggling there, but thankfully she got in. So after 12 overs here at Providence, Trinidad and Tobago are 38 for 4.
Yeah, tight, gripping stuff from the Windward Islands, and they need to continue. They need to go right through with this. They don't want. We did see when Trinidad played Leeward Islands a couple of days ago. They were about the same stage as well, but they were able to capitalize and get some runs through Corby, and Corby got a good score. Was and the low order, and were able to put up a score of just over 100, and they were able to win that game. And I think what the Windward Islands is doing here, you don't want Trinidad and Tobago to have a partnership. You want to keep taking wickets. You don't want them to get away. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago would be thinking, well, if these two experienced players, Brittany Cooper and the captain, Anisa Mohammed, can stay out there and bat for the next 5-6 overs, they may well get to a score of 80 or 90.
Yes, definitely, Clyde. I agree with you. So far the biggest partnership would have been 11. And that's cut away again by the skipper, Anisa Mohammed.
As Zeta James has now come from the northern end. That was a delivery that was just slightly short outside the off stump, left flat. Anisa Mohammed was onto the back foot, cutting it away just to the left, the field at backward point, who knocked it down a little but failed to stop it, and it went all the way into the boundary for 4. Now they're changing the field, probably putting a better field in that backward point position. As we all know, that's one of the most crucial positions on the field.
Yeah, I think if Zeta James didn't have the ball in hand, that would have been her spot, because she seemed excellent in that position.
For such a young person as well, she's a very good cricketer, good all-round cricketer.
Yeah, I was told she missed the first few games because of her having to write the examination, CXC, which is always good to see. We need more educated people in our sports and in everything that we do. So that's great. Glad that she's here and she's performing well so far.
I think her mother's here with her as well, which is good that she's got the support of her family. As she Anissa is looking to sweep here. Now it's Brittany Cooper looking to sweep. Was wrapped on the pad and there was a loud appeal for an LBW decision. So not out, says the umpire.
Yeah, may have just been drifting down the leg side a bit. Umpire Duguid saying no. But Clyde, I love the intent I'm seeing from the skipper, and she seems to just be, spurring Cooper on at this time. Keeping that positive intent, and she's pouncing on anything short. Just don't pitch it short to Anissa Mohammed today. She looks as if she's in that mood.
She plays that way. She waits on the back foot to hit balls behind point and to sweep as well. That's her forte. That's where she loves to hit the ball. As she's cutting this just past third man, it's going to go all the way into the boundary for 4. Not a good looking shot again. May have had the outer half of the bat, but that was her intent, to hit the ball behind square. Got a good shot and 4 more runs. I think what Zeta is doing is trying to bowl a little too quickly. When somebody's playing those cut shots, you tend to slow it down a little bit more. Instead of trying to push it through, just slow it down a little bit more. Hang it in the air a little more. Let her try to go over the top of mid-wicket or straight. Instead of just bowling a little too flat. You just need to slow it up.
All 3 of the skipper's boundaries would have been coming on the back foot, cut away square on the offside. So Afi Fletcher would want to counter that. That one was close. Just not carrying to the fielder there at short mid-wicket. And that's the end of the over. 13 overs gone. Trinidad and Tobago are now 48 for 4. A little partnership developing here.
Yeah, I think they need a partnership. The last game they were toward 6 for 4, remember. And then they had that partnership of 54. So they need that kind of partnership right now if they're going to give themselves a chance in this game.
So far for the match, this is now the highest partnership for Trinidad, 17. The second highest one we would have had would have been the opening partnership of 11. So Trinidad and Tobago on the move here as the skipper Afi Fletcher continues her spell.
Short delivery onto the back foot, banging it out to through cover, be able to get a single as it goes out to the sweeper. Cooper is growing in confidence actually, because when she went out she looked like she was struggling, really struggling. But I think she's growing in confidence with her skipper out in the middle. Skipper is looking to sweep this one and gets it out just square of the wicket on the onside and able to get another single. And I think that's the thing with Anissa Mohammed. She plays very square of the wicket, square and behind square. And you have to try and strengthen those areas to her.
So keeping the scoreboard ticking over is the skipper. Exactly what Trinidad and Tobago would have needed at this point. Just changing the momentum of the game a bit. Down the pitch. Cooper trying to use her feet there to get to the pitch of the ball, not getting there and chipping it in the air, but short of the fielder, Stacey Ann Adams.
This time she's looking to sweep a ball as outside the leg stump. Didn't get any touch, but I don't mind that shot. I think that's a good shot. That's a shot that a lot of players tend to think when spinners are bowling, they've got you in a little bit of trouble. Looking to sweep. She was reaching far out in front of her, looking to sweep. I don't see nothing wrong with that. You missed it, but once it's pitched outside leg stump, can it be out LBW?
Or we should say shouldn't be out LBW, Clyde.
I like that. I like that. And spoken like a true former umpire as well, because we don't make mistakes sometimes, don't we?
Yes, we all do. Umpires are humans, just as everyone else. Right?
That's the 50 for Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, that's the 50 for Trinidad and Tobago. 4 wickets down. Coming up in the
the 15th over, I think.
Yeah.
And so you've got 5 over to go. You've got 6 wickets in hand. And you must be thinking now that you need another 50 runs or thereabout. I know that's going to be hard. But maybe your aim has to be to get to that 100 mark when you're playing a 2020 game. So it would be interesting to see how they approach things, whether we will see both batters going after the bowling. As Brittany is back and pulling this around down to deep mid-wicket. We only get a single.
Just not getting the timing right there, Clyde. It seems as if she's been struggling with her timing so far in this innings. But I think the longer she stays there, she'll probably get herself in just a bit more. I think
the 50 was coming in the completion of the 14th over, not the 15th.
That's correct. That's correct.
Sorry?
Yes.
She's back again, looking to cut on the offside. Hit it in front of square this time. And there's a little bit of a ricochet, so they're going to get an extra run. They're going to get an extra run.
So I think over the last few overs, especially since the skipper got there, the balance just seemed to have shifted, because it was all Windwards from the beginning of the match, but now it seems there's some amount of momentum with the Trinidad and Tobago ladies as they push to get to that, maybe that triple figure.
Well, that was a bad looking shot from Anisa Mohammed, looking to run that down to third man. Was outside the off stump, maybe a little quicker.
Yeah, it really was a nothing shot. She'd want to keep her wicket and not give it away at this time. She's carrying the responsibility of her team. Want to push on as best as they can from this point.
Again, looking to work that pass backward point, unable to beat the field. And that's it. When the bowling is slowed up, she struggles, because you've got to then make pace instead of using the pace of the delivery.
So we can say smart bowling from Zeta James. This time dropping it short, and Mohammed is able to get back and pull it over the mid-wicket. So 15 overs gone. Trinidad are now 55 for 4.
Yeah, and I think Trinidad and Tobago here would have to decide that they need a partnership. They need to try and step on the gas a little bit more, because they need to score probably another 40, 50 runs if they're going to put a lot of pressure on the Windward Islands batting. And they of course know, because they've been playing against each other for years. They know what the Windward Islands is about. They know that sometimes the Windward Islands struggle in terms of their batting. They've always been a decent bowling side, but their batting has been their bugbear of late. And so they will be thinking, well, if we could get to that 90 or thereabouts, you know, we can put a lot of pressure on the Windward Islands batting. And the Windward Islands, I'm sure, would be thinking, we need to try and get Trinidad and Tobago out for maybe a 75, 80 runs, and look to get those runs when it's their turn to bat. But certainly, they have to try and keep them down to that sort of score. As we see the physiotherapist on the field, as I say, good afternoon to Machu Kisu, and he's having some treatment to Brittany Cooper, I think. Yeah. And we've seen the physiotherapists in this tournament always on the field. They're certainly earning their keep. Machu Kisu?
Yes, Clyde, good afternoon, everyone. Good period of cricket here. 2 experienced batters out there in the middle. Trinidad and Tobago would not want to lose Brittany Cooper by way of injury or unable to bat, but she's been tended to, and the physio makes his way off. 55 for 4. If they got a run a ball, they'll get up to 85. They would want more than that. If they can get close to 100 or even just past 100, it would be a good effort by Trinidad, knowing that they lost their first wicket with a score at 11, then 16 for 2, 26 for 3, and 31 for 4. So no partnerships at the top. And Joseph, who opened the batting, faced 14 balls and did not score. So the plan didn't work from that perspective for the Trinidad and Tobago batting, as we see Glasgow switch now to the Place Pavilion end to start her third over. 2 overs for 9 runs so far. Fletcher's completed her spell, 4 overs, 1 for 12. And Kiana Joseph, 4 overs, 3 for 10. Beautiful bowling from both Fletcher and Joseph.
Forced delivery short. Anisa Muhammad goes on her back foot and just push it back up to the pitch. No runs. And it was a similar situation a few days ago with Trinidad and Tobago. They were 38 for 4, and they went on to get 103.
They've both got good starts so far, both batters. 19 to the captain. 20, I make it 20 on the scoreboard for Brittany Cooper. So they're both there. They face a number of deliveries. They need to carry Trinidad and Tobago on close to the end, if not to the end of their innings.
Driven nicely up to mid-off by Anisa Muhammad. Not finding the gap. Nicely played. Ball pitched up outside the off stump. Pushing it up to mid-off. Unable to get a run.
The only fault with Anisa Muhammad when she's batting out there is her running between the wickets. To my mind, I've seen her run out a couple of times. To my mind, she's the kind of cricketer, if she was a little bit more sharp between the wickets, they could have picked up 1s and 2s a bit more regular.
Pulled away nicely in front of square. Just be 1 run though, as that was another short delivery. She was back and just pulling it in front of square, able to get another single. Yeah, Anisa Muhammad is not the quickest of persons in the field. I don't know. Sometimes, even though you're not genuinely the quickest person between the wickets, but if you can really be able to say yes, no in good time, pick the singles, look to run, back up, be able to rotate as quickly as possible, that helps. This is hit back hard past the bowler. Long on comes around, and only a single.
That's Karina Noel, but she hasn't had a bowl in this match. She's bowled a bit for the Windwards in this tournament so far. They've given the ball to Zayda James, the left-hand orthodox spinner, who's bowled 3 overs for 23. So she's been a little bit expensive in the context of the standard that the Windwards have set.
This time it's in the air and she's out caught at mid-off. That was a delivery that was pitched up. Anisa Muhammad really didn't look to hit it or not to hit. She was just pushing it gently out to mid-off. Trinidad and Tobago losing another wicket just when they were can ill afford to lose a wicket at this time. Anisa Muhammad, I don't think she really tried to hit that hard. She was just pushing it, and it just ended up going out to mid-off for the mid-off to take an easy catch. Trinidad and Tobago has lost another wicket, and with now just about 4.5 overs left, and Corbin Alexander goes to the wicket. Corbin Alexander is another experienced cricketer, mind you, has done well for Trinidad and Tobago over the years, has played for West Indies at times as well. So she would need now to try and have a little partnership with Brittany Cooper, just support Brittany Cooper as much as she can. So she didn't play the last game either, Corbin Alexander, so we'll have to wait and see how she goes in this game.
Right, so good wicket there for Glasgow. Still experience out there in Alexander coming out. Would have played a lot of cricket over the years for Trinidad and Tobago.
Brittany Cooper is swinging this away out to, 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 question for you. Do you think that the boundary should remain this big for the females?
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I do not have a problem with it.
For 2020 cricket as well?
Yes. Don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay.
If you're going to bring it in a bit more, how much more would you bring it in?
Well, it just depends. I think when you look at the mid-wicket boundary where that ball was hit, that seems to me to be a very long boundary.
Swept the long leg for one.
It's there for both sides, so it doesn't really matter. I was just throwing out the question to see.
No, it's a good question,
what
good
was gonna be
observation.
said. I personally would love to see it come in a little. Loved a little bit more excitement, a little bit more attack into the game. You want to see some more runs being scored as well. As this is short again, pulled away. This time it would go out to long on comes around, and they're going to get 2 easy runs.
Yes, they need to pick up the ones, the twos regular now, and the boundaries here and there. But what would happen for the 50-over tournament? You think it will remain the same, or the boundaries?
You can't bring it in for the 50 over
Correct.
and then bring it in for the 2020. I don't think that would be nice, as Brittany Cooper is looking to hit this one straight. She's timed it well. Long on is coming across. She's not going to get there, and it goes into the boundary for 4. And Brittany Cooper is making her intention known now. She's going after the youngster in Zeta James. She's going after her, and maybe again when you look at the field, you know, instead of probably that deep backward square, you could have had the long on and the long off instead of the fine leg on the boundary. Maybe you could have had that long on and long off for Brittany Cooper.
That is correct. That long off should have been there. And they're trying to go after Zeta James, of course. She's completed her spell. We'll give her the figures in a moment. But she's completed her 4 overs. She's been a bit expensive. That was a lovely shot hit back over Zeta James's head for 4 by Cooper. And Cooper's pushed on now to try make it 20, I think it's around 26. The scoreboard is saying 65 for 5, 17 overs completed. So they need to get up to that 100 figure, that 100 mark in 3 overs. Can they get there? 35 to get in 3 overs. Is that possible?
I think that's asking a lot in the context of what we have seen in the regional tournament so far. Certainly asking a lot of the players out in the middle.
Yeah. Right, so James, 4 overs, none for 30, or 4 overs.
Yeah, I thought at times she bowled well, but just bowled a little too quickly, I think, when Anisa Mohammed was batting. It was a little too flat, giving Anisa Mohammed a chance to cut. I think, you know, you would like to see her give the ball a little bit more flight, encouraging the batsmen to come on the front foot and not going on the back foot. You want to see them play her off the front foot. And she's a youngster, so I'm sure she will develop that sort of skill as time goes on and so on. But she certainly looks a future for the Windward Islands. And maybe with the Under-19 World Cup coming up in a year's time, she will play a big part for the West Indies in that.
That is true. Giving her some exposure and experience out there. That's lofted in the air, catch taken. That's
Corbin Alexander.
That's right.
Looking to sweep a delivery that was pitched up. She was going down on one knee, looking to sweep, hit the top of the bat, close to the gloves, and end up going out to short backward square. Easy catch. So Trinidad and Tobago have lost another wicket. And I'm sure that shot came because you're thinking that you've got to score. You've got to step up the scoring rate with 2 overs to go after this one. And she ended up caught backward square. No runs, nulls. She didn't trouble the scorers.
Didn't trouble the scorers at all. Looking to sweep and lobbed it in the air to the backward square leg, who took the catch.
Of course, Etienne has come back. She started off very well, bowled pretty well in her first couple of overs, and she's come back now and she's picked up a wicket.
In her third over, one for one now. She did bowl a maiden. Kiana Joseph would have bowled a maiden as well in her spell. Karishma Ramharak, I make it. The left-hander is out there now. Etienne had a bit of an off game the previous match. I think it was against Jamaica, but has bounced back nicely in this game and has shown why she is the leading bowler for the Windwards. That smashed out to cover, looks for a single, return comes in. Good bit of work there by Adams, Stacey Ann Adams, down at extra cover. Third man on the boundary for the left-hander, backward point, cover deep. Extra cover mid-off. There's a long on, straight mid-wicket, square leg on the boundary, and pushing at that, out! Catch taken by the keeper. And Ramharak goes without troubling the scores. It's now 65 for 7. And another wicket has gone down cheaply for Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, and the Windwards certainly bouncing back again after that little partnership between Brittany Cooper and Anisa Mohammed. You know, that was a nice little partnership, and now Trinidad and Tobago has come and taken 3 quick wickets, and we haven't seen a lot of runs being scored. So this is a lot of pressure on the Trinidad and Tobago side, and Brittany Cooper, who is still out there and batting well, needs to try and make sure she gets as much as a strike as possible if the Windward Islands is going to allow her, because it seems to want to give her the single and bowl to the other batters, and it looks as if they're going to clean up as quickly as possible.
Steffi Sugrim comes out to do battle, but Cooper needs to get on strike. She needs to take most of the deliveries now. So a duck for Joseph, Boyce made 9, Lord 4, Kirby 1, Mohammed the captain 20, Alexander no score, and Ramharak no score. 3 ducks in this innings for Trinidad and Tobago. And Etienne, on the other hand, 2 for 1. And she's in her third over. Joseph, 4 overs, 3 for 10. Exceptional bowling. And Fletcher, 4 overs, 1 for 12. Full toss.
This is a full toss, put away behind square. The field out and the superposition comes around. Noel, and they get 2 easy runs. So good over by Paul, spoiled by that Paul Etienne, spoiled by that last delivery, which was a full toss and was hit down to deep backward square for 2. But very good bowling. She's now bowled, what, 3 overs and taking 2 wickets for 3 runs. So excellent, excellent figures.
2 wickets for 2 in this over. Beautifully done by Etienne. 18 overs gone, 67 for 7.
Brittany Cooper has to stay there to the end. The difference with Trinidad and Tobago getting probably to 80, 85 would be Brittany Cooper and the Windward Islands bowlers. I think if she stays there, there's a possibility that they could get to that score. If she gets out, they will certainly struggle to get to that score. Yes, she would want to attack, but she has to be very careful how she's going to attack, because if she gets out, it could be difference between getting 20 runs and getting 5 runs.
12 legal deliveries left. I don't think the Windwards would want to give away extras now. They've only given away 3 in the inning so far. That is very excellent indeed.
Was pulling this away out to mid-wicket. It's gone into the boundary. That's a good-looking shot from Brittany Cooper. Delivery that was slightly short and pulled it way in front of square into the mid-wicket boundary. That's gone for 4. That was hit powerfully as well from Brittany Cooper. And it's nice to see Brittany Cooper after actually getting back her confidence and batting well.
Key player for Trinidad and Tobago, and she's out there. She's gone into the 30s now. 2 to Sugrim.
I think the Windwards just trying to get their feel right now. They've brought up the third man and they've pushed the long off back. And Brittany Cooper looking for that scoop, doesn't get hold of it. Wrapped on the pad. She was looking for that scoop shot with the fine leg in the circle. Missed it and got hit on the pad. So not bad thinking though. If you're gonna with the fine leg coming up into the circle, I think that was good thinking.
A favorite T20 shot, huh? The scoop. Get inside the stumps and help it over the fine leg area for a boundary. She didn't succeed on that occasion. Down the track.
Hitting this out to mid wicket, it's gonna be close, and I think she's out. Run out. No, she's not. She was looking for the second run there when the ball was just next to the bowler, and the bowler, instead of probably throwing it at Brittany Cooper's end, threw to the other side. Oh, I think she had the bails were out, so that's why she threw at the other side to see if she was going to get a run out, because she would have had to knock the stump out clean out of the ground if the bails were disturbed.
I think if she was a little bit smarter, she could have pulled that stump out.
Well, she would have to make a few moves. By the time she make those steps, Brittany Cooper would have been back. So I think she tried to do the right thing, throw it to the other end.
72 for 7 in the 19th over. Glasgow to Sugrim. Cooper halfway down the track, looking to get back on strike.
Rightfully too. That's the right thing she's doing. She just got to ensure that it doesn't back up too early.
Well, I think Glasgow was looking for that Yorker length, but it was angled down the leg side.
This time she's wrapped on the pad and they're going to get that single. So Brittany Cooper gets back the strike. Two deliveries left. So we'll see Brittany Cooper probably looking to get to the other end as well. Probably look to play a big shot now, and then in the last delivery look to take that single.
73 for 7. She's on strike. 33 from 36 balls.
This is wide outside the off stump. She was looking to back away initially and then realized the ball was wide outside the off stump. Tried to get batting. I think she slid and still was able to hit it out to long off. So she's got that single, and it is the end of over. It wasn't 2 deliveries, so she's got the strike and she'll be facing for the last over.
Right.
And I'm sure she'll be thinking she'll need to score at least 10 runs in this over.
She deserves to take the strike in the final over. 34 from 37 balls. 19 overs gone. 74 for 7. And if it's one person who can get them up to maybe 85 plus, it will be Brittany Cooper. But she's facing up to someone who's been in good form with ball in hand. Etienne will bowl her final over. 2 wickets for 3 runs from 3 overs.
And if you look at the field, it's a long on and long off. Deep mid wicket on the boundary and a sweep on the offside. So they've got 4 fielders out the circle. All the other fielders are at the edge of the circle. Brittany's swinging this away out to deep mid wicket. She's gonna get 4 more runs. This is valuable runs by Brittany Cooper down at the end of the innings. That was a delivery. She came down the track, swung away to mid wicket and got 4 more runs. Good looking shot. Brittany Cooper on the charge.
Has started the over very nicely, the final over. Another couple of boundaries can get Trinidad close to a fight in total. A runner ball for her so far. 38 from 38.
She's hitting this out to mid wicket. She's gonna get 2 more runs here. No doubt about that. So good batting here by Brittany Cooper. That one, she didn't try and hit it too hard. She placed it in the gap and was able to get two more runs.
So you've got a long on wide, and you've got more of a straighter mid wicket on the boundary.
Was coming down the track again, hitting this one out to extra cover. She's going to get 2 more runs. She's going to get 2 more runs as the fielder come across. Field sends the return into the bowler. So they've gotten 8 runs in this over so far from 3 deliveries. And I think this is a fighting total. This is a total that Trinidad and Tobago will be thinking that they can defend.
82 for 7. 3 deliveries left, legal deliveries.
She's hitting this one straight back past the bowler. That's gone into the boundary. Another boundary for Brittany Cooper. And she must be thinking as well that she can get to that 50 mark for herself. Good looking shot again from Brittany Cooper, stepping up, putting the pressure on Etienne in this last over.
Spoiling her figures, 42 from 46 from 41 now. Sugrim just admiring the shots at the bowler's end.
She's coming down the track looking to heave this one over mid-wicket. He only end up hitting it out to short mid-wicket and getting a single. So she will be unable to get to that 50 unless there's a widener or a no ball. But she's played a wonderful hand for Trinidad and Tobago. She's batted really well, and she took Trinidad and Tobago out of a mess they were in. They were in total trouble.
87 for 7. Mark. Final ball of the innings.
Isn't it out on the offside? Brittany's going to come back for 2. I don't think the other batter is going to get there. She's been lopped. I think Brittany Cooper actually got to her at the other crease. So she was run out by a full pitch length. But all in all, I think Trinidad and Tobago has fought back well to get to 88. I think they've done reasonable. Windward Islands must give credit to their bowlers. I thought they bowled pretty well. They kept things fairly tight. Their fielding was good as well in terms of their support. And I think apart from Brittany Cooper and Anissa Mohammed, Trinidad has a lot to be thankful for those 2 players, because they certainly batted pretty well and give them a fighting score of 88.
Right, so 88 for 8. The final wicket going down via the run-out route. Sugrin coming back for a second run. Run-out for 3. 4 extras in the total of 88 for 8. The Trinidad and Tobago side winning the toss and batting first. Kiana Joseph, 4 overs, 1 mid, 3 for 10. Etienne, 4 overs, 1 mid, and she picked up 2 wickets. James, 4 overs, no mid, none for 30. Glasgow, 4 overs, no mid, 1 for 17. And Fletcher, 4 overs, no mid, 1 for 12. So a big over there. The final over from Etienne pushed the Trinidad and Tobago total up to a fighting 88. The Windwards needing 8 and 9 to win this game. Will have to do some work when they come out back to do battle. We'll take a break and we'll be back with you for the Windwards innings. And welcome back to the Guyana National Stadium at Providence here. Match number 11, Trinidad and Tobago versus the Windward Islands, where we've seen the completion of the Trinidad and Tobago innings. They were asked to bat, well, they won the toss and they elected to bat first. And they got up to 88 for 8 in their 20 overs with 4 extras, 2 wides and 2 leg bys. A brilliant 47 not out from Cooper, batting well at the end, 42 balls, 5 fours, and she was at the crease for 65 minutes. Nothing much from the top order. Boyce getting 9. Joseph didn't score after facing 14 balls. Lord made 4. Kirby 1. Mohammed, the captain, played a good hand of 20. Alexander a duck. Ramharak a duck. And Sugrim was run out from the last ball for 3. At one stage, they were 31 for 4 after 10 overs, 38 for 4 after 12, 55 for 4 after 15, and 67 for 7 after 18 overs. But losing their first 4 wickets with 31 runs on the board in the 10th over certainly would have pegged back Trinidad and Tobago from getting a better total, maybe getting past 3 figures and really putting the Windwards under more pressure in terms of coming out to go after those runs. Mikuwanya Yisrael is alongside me. The players are out in the middle, and we are about to start with Leanne Kirby, who will be bowling from the Place Pavilion end. And the 2 batters out in the middle for the Windwards would be, I'll tell you in a moment, I think it's Homa. That's Kimona Homa and Stacey Ann Adams. And Adams will be facing up first, the right-hander. And Mikuwanya, brilliant sunshine at Providence. Let's see what will happen here. Can the Windwards get to this total? Their batting have been under a lot of pressure. They got up to 90 versus Jamaica. Of course, Jamaica defended that very easily. But can they get past 88 and win this game?
Hello to you, Matthew. Hello to our viewers coming from Providence here on the East Bank. The Windwards, they will have to back themselves to get this total. It's a small total. Well, in the tournament, this has been sort of like the par score, average score. We haven't had that many triple figure scores. So the Windward want to give themselves every opportunity to try to overcome the ladies from Trinidad and Tobago. So they've got to back themselves. They've got to go out there with confidence, play the ball on its merit, and take what's on offer and try to get home, actually.
Would you believe it? Leanne Kirby bowled a long hop, and that was not put away by Stacey Ann Adams. Looking for a sharp single, but the return from that Steffi Sugrim down at mid-wicket, short mid-wicket, it went to the left, well, to the right of the keeper. It actually had to be backed up at backward point. I think she was looking to rifle the return in quickly, but was not in control when she picked up the ball.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hesitant, very dangerous run there. Not good cricket all around, as we're seeing from both sides at this time. And
that's a no ball. Bouncing more than twice before it got to the batter. So we'll have a free hit. So Trinidad and Tobago giving away some extras here now.
It's not often you see that form of a no ball there, Matthew. The ball bouncing twice before getting to the batter. Maybe this is just the impetus the Windward need to get their innings going. Let's see what the batter, Kimoni Homa, does with this free hit.
Both batters yet to score. It's 2 without loss. That's lovely. Full toss outside the leg stump. Pulled away, backward of square for a boundary. That's what you want from a free hit. So that will do Stacey Ann Adams well. She could have been run out 2 deliveries ago, but the return wasn't a good one. That's Homer, I beg your pardon. So she got the boundary. Two right-handers out there. And a well-deserved boundary. And a bad delivery for a free hit from Leanne Kirby.
Yeah, the batting side would be thanking the cricket gods at this time. And that's another no ball there, Matthew. I can't recall ever having seen this. But the ball bouncing twice before getting to the batter standing at the crease. And that's a no ball. And that would be a free hit as well. Strange happenings. One of the ball is just sliding out of her arms. Out of her fingers.
We know that Kirby is an experienced cricketer, but she's not gotten it right so far. Pitched up on the off stump, slashed over cover. A chase for the fielder out there. They get two. That's homer for you.
Not a well-timed shot there by Homer. She would have just wanted to get a bit more bat on that one, and that would have been an easy boundary as the field are packed into the circle at this time as we were in the power play. So she'd want to just get her eye in to get her timing right.
That was a long hop. It bounced. Homer was looking to force that through the onside. Missed the shot taken by the keeper. An expensive over, the first one coming to an end. 9 without loss. Good batting by Homer so far. She's picked up a boundary. And the Windward Islands are off to a good start.
And that's a very good start in the context of this tournament. 9 runs off the opening over. They just want to keep building on this. The scoring rate is just about 4.21 needed, and they're already at 9. So great start for the Windwards. Trinidad have just got to pull it back a bit, settle themselves, settle the nerves. Not a good opening over there from Kirby. It will be interesting to see if Anissa continues with her, gives her another over, or maybe switch ends or so. So let's see.
So Ramharak comes into the attack. Homer's on 6 from 4. Adams yet to score. She's faced 4 deliveries.
Cheeky shot there by Adams. She could have been taken there behind the wicket by the slip, but just dropping short there of Anissa Mohammed. She'd want to be careful. They won't want to throw anything away. As we look at the field, it's a leg side field with the 2 fielders outside of the 30-yard circle being on the leg side at long on and also at mid-wicket. So we can get an idea of the angles that Ramharak will be trying to bowl to the Windwards batters.
Sometimes you wonder what's the thinking of the camps of teams when they come out. What's the battle plan, the strategy? Loose shot outside the off stump by Homer. I'm looking at when the Windwards bowled, and they did give Zayda James 4 overs, the young lady. I thought maybe Karina Noel could have bowled an over or 2 for the Windwards. She proved to be a little bit expensive, of course. None for 31 from her 4 overs. And now we see with the Trinidad and Tobago bowl, and they started with Kirby.
Well, Kirby was their opening bowler in the last match. After her heroics with the bat, she opened the bowling and she bowled pretty well in that night game a few days ago. But it just didn't work out. This ball played into the cover. The batters able to pick up a run and move the scoreboard along to 11.
Between cover and extra cover, beat both fielders inside the 30-yard circle. Glasgow at cover. So 2 overs gone. It's 11 without loss here. The Windwards needing to get up to 89 to win this game, and they've done well after 2 overs so far.
As predicted, the skipper would have made a change in bowling. New bowler into the attack for Trinidad and Tobago. And this would be Kirbyana Alexander, the fast bowler. And she strikes with her first ball, Machu. Wow. What a great start. True to the keeper taken. And that's the end of the batter. Kimoni Homer. First ball from the new bowler. And well taken there by the keeper for Trinidad and Tobago. Rennie's Boyce standing up to the stumps. Just a fine edge. And she's gone.
First ball. I'm wondering why maybe she didn't bowl the first over. Even though you made the point that Corby bowled well in the previous game. But that happens in the game of cricket. I mean, you may have a good game and then the next game it may not go that well for you when you start. But you're not going to have everything perfectly done. And that's the thing about T20 cricket. But the first ball, she fished at it, got the outside edge. Catch taken by Rennie's Boyce, the wicketkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago. And that's a good wicket for Trinidad and Tobago to have picked up. Removing Homer, and I think she made I think it's 6. So in fact the scoreboard says 7, so 11 for 1. Good strike by Trinidad and Tobago.
So the change is working immediately for Anisa Mohammed of Trinidad and Tobago. This is just what she would have wanted, even as we see her coming down the track now to have a word with her bowler. And would you know it, Matthew? Trinidad and Tobago lost their first wicket at 11 as well. So it's a really evenly poised match. We've got a great game on hands here. If you're in the area, please come down to Providence. This could be a nail biter.
What about tonight's game, the Leewards versus Guyana? Since the tournament is being played in Guyana, you would expect a few more to come in to support the Guyana side.
Definitely, I look forward to the crowd coming to support the Guyana team as they take on the Leewards. You know, make some noise in the stands as well.
Look at brilliance in the field at backward point. That went very quickly to that field out there. And I'll tell you who that is in a moment. That's the number 20. That's Chanel Lord. Brilliant fielding at backward point. That was cracked behind point. And she fielded well.
You know, so far, Matthew, in the game, I think what we've seen is some really good feeling from both sides. Chanel Lord there at backward point, performing well for Trinidad and Tobago. And then we had, on the other end, Zaida James feeling at backward point for the Windwards, performing well, taking that brilliant catch, that catch that brought a smile to my face with her left hand. So, as it says, a really evenly poised match at this time.
Trinidad lost their first wicket with the score on 11 as well, but that was in the 5th over. That's wide of the off stump. Reaching for that delivery. Adams didn't get a touch onto it. But that was in the 5th over, so they batted a little bit slower. Windwards have lost their first wicket with a score on 11 as well, but in the 3rd over, which is the current over being bowled.
These are, I think the skipper Fletcher needs to go down and have a word with her batter. She just seemed to be just flaying the bat dangerously, outside the off stump. It looks kind of like a nothing shot there.
A good plan by Alexander to keep that ball outside the off stump, force the batter to go across and look for the shot. Could get a nick, be caught. There was a slip there, slip fielder. Better line on the off stump this time, forcing Alexander to play. That's Adams, I beg your pardon, to play it. 3 overs have been completed in the Windwards innings, needing 89 for victory. They're 12 for 1.
Steady start there by the Windwards. Not off the flyer by any means, but a good steady start. They'd want to just keep edging home. Maintain. I think they're slightly ahead at this point, maintaining that advantage as best as they can.
Some quick bowling figures for you for the Windwards when they had ball in hand. Joseph 3 for 10, Etienne 2 for 17. James expensive, none for 31. Glasgow 1 for 17. Lovely shot. Back and cut it away beautifully. That's a lovely square cut by Fletcher, the captain, who's very experienced. She can bat. She's got a few good scores so far in the tournament, and that's a lovely way to get off the mark, the skipper. Of course, she did bowl 4 overs, 1 for 11, as I've been reading out the figures for you, and that's a nice shot by the captain.
Oh, definitely. That was an exquisite shot. You know what brought a smile to my face? We saw Anisa Mohammed scoring her boundaries in similar fashion. Square on the outside. Now, Afi Fletcher's out here saying, if you can do it, Anisa, I'm going to shoot. I can do it too. And cut away square as well.
I find her to be a sweet timer of the ball, and she uses her wrist well. Good use of the wrist. Plays with soft hands as well. Good timer of the ball, Afi Fletcher.
Try to run that one down to the third man area. Well stopped by the diving skipper Anisa Mohammed. I think Anisa Mohammed sets the tone in almost every aspect of the game. In the batting, we see her fielding is excellent, and her bowling.
A good cricketer, very experienced. Look at how Fletcher uses the wrist. Nice wristy shot, turned towards backward square. Picked up the single. Very sensible cricket by the captain.
Very nice game here. Well poised match.
That was well bowled. Tossed up nicely on the middle stump. Adams came forward. Played it out easy into the leg side.
Again, we see Adams just... That cut shot just seems to not be working for her today. She's been missing it quite a few times. Very close to the edge, true to the keeper. She's got to try and make some connection there, or just let those go.
4 overs gone, 17 for 1.
Well, we have our three spectators there chilling in the grass mounds, enjoying the vibes. Coming out to support women's cricket, which is great to see.
And you've got a couple in the green stand as well. I think about 3. I can't quite. A little bit more, yeah. There's another one, about 4 in the green stand. Have you spotted any in the red stand? I think I'm seeing 1, 2. Right, about 2 in the red stand. Brilliant sunshine at Providence. Excellent conditions for cricket. Leewards versus Guyana at 7 p.m. tonight. Guyana only with 2 points because of that rained out game against Trinidad and Tobago.
That was well pulled. That was almost like a straight pull shot there over the head of the mid-on fielder, Cooper. She couldn't get to that, and that went down to the boundary for 4. That was a nice shot there. Just muscled away by the skipper, Afi Fletcher. And that's a nice shot.
Beautifully done by Fletcher. 10 from 7. That was played with disdain. That was a ferocious shot. Went over mid-on. Sensible cricket. Soft hands, pushed into the offside, took off with a single. That's Afi Fletcher for you.
Muscled away for 4. Then with those ever soft hands picking up the single. This is what we call for in cricket all the time. Not everything has to be a boundary. The singles are also very important.
22 for 1 in the 5th over. A bit of pressure on the field inside now. A little bit of misfielding there from Sugrim. Little fumble.
Stacey and Adams doing the right thing, just picking up the singles. She just needs to ensure that she's there, support her skipper, who is finding the boundaries and also finding the singles. So this partnership would want to push the score as close to 88 as they can. Not want to leave it up for anyone else. You know, if you can do it, complete it.
Slapped hard into the ground, bounced out into the offside, slipping a white third man. Backward point, there is a cover, extra cover in the mid-off. The Trinidad and Tobago field positions. There's Brittany Cooper at mid-on. There's a short mid-wicket in Sugrim. That's well driven again by the batter, but straight to Cooper. That's Fletcher. The over comes to an end. 5 gone here at Providence. The Windward Islands needing 89 to win this game. They're 23 for 1.
Yeah, it was a powerful shot, but you've got to be better than that to even attempt to beat Cooper. And she's one of the better fielders on her team and also in this tournament. As we say goodbye for now to Matthew Kisun and hello to Clyde Butts. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Miku. I'm very good. Enjoying the cricket. I was sitting there and enjoying my cricket. I love to watch cricket. That's what it's all about. It's good, tight cricket so far in this power play. 5 overs gone. Windwards looking good. I think Afi Fletcher's come out and make that difference. She's batting well, rotating the strike. She's hit a few boundaries, and I think she is the player that makes the difference with how easy Windwards sometimes they bat, because she comes out and walks the ball around and hit the boundaries too.
Stacey and Adams looking to work this one on the leg side. I think that's her role. That's the role that she's playing at this time. Just looking to work it, pick up the singles. That cut shot has not been working for her today, so she just want to work it around and rotate the strike, get her skipper back in action. And even as I speak, Clyde, she goes over the top
and gets a couple of runs out to deep mid wicket. Delivery that was pitched up just outside the off stump. She was hitting across the line a little, but she didn't try and overhit it. She more or less just took to place it over the short mid wicket and was able to get 2 runs.
Yeah, even though she went over the top, it was a very safe shot. Not a slug by any means, just guiding it over the head and picking up the 2 runs.
And sometimes you wonder, Mick, if those fielders need to be directly out on the boundary, especially in the mid-wicket and the long on area. Yes, a deep backward square and square. I think you need to have those portions on the boundary, but that mid-wicket sometimes it looks a long way off for these girls to hit sixes. This is driven back to the bowler, who makes a very good save. She's diving to her to her left. So that's good cricket, good shot, good feeling, excellent cricket.
Yeah, that was well stopped there by the bowler, Karishma Ramharak, diving away, getting two hands and stopping that ball. Very athletic. I think both sides have looked excellent in the field, Clyde.
This is a delivery that's outside the off stump, straightening a little quicker. She was looking to nudge that past that slip here, and with that slip, with Anisa Mohammed, that slip, you've got to be careful. We have seen her taking a brilliant catch a few days ago, and she is a good slip fielder. So Trinidad and Tobago continue to fight. The end of the power play. End of the power play here with the score is what? 25. So the Windward Islands maybe not losing a lot of wickets, just losing one wicket, and maybe just 5 or 6 runs behind where they would like to be. But they would say to you, we've only lost 1 wicket. We've got some 14 overs still to bat. We're not chasing such a huge total, so we can just work things around, pick up singles, pick up twos, put the bad balls away, and there's no need for us to panic.
No, not at all. What was lacking with the Trinidad and Tobago innings was partnerships. You know, the biggest partnership was with the skipper and Brittany Cooper, which was just like about maybe like 26 runs. But it's good to see this partnership here coming from the Windwards, and I think if they maintain, if they keep this partnership, then they will get home quite safely. A new bowler into the attack, the left-handed Steffi Sugrim, and she starts with a wide. Not a good start there by Steffi.
I think this could be a crucial time for the Trinidad and Tobago, because I think what Steffi Sugrim does is try and bowl wicket to wicket. And if she can do that and do that well, she could put the Windward Islands under some trouble, and maybe we'll see Anisa Mohammed coming from the other end as well. So, you know, Anisa Mohammed, she's experienced, she's a good bowler, and she could certainly put a lot of pressure on the Windward Islands batting.
Yes, definitely. That's why they want to try to get themselves in and maintain those wickets coming down to the business end of the innings, because you just never know if the game will change.
Good delivery. Joseph going back and just pushing it out on the offside, unable to get a run. Now that's the sort of bowling that you want to see Sugrim do. Just pitch it up or just on or about the off stump. She's not really a big spinner of the ball. She's more consistent line and length bowler. Again, this one is pitched. This one is turning a little as it goes across the right hand, beats the bat and goes through to the wicketkeeper. Good bowling.
Yeah, it's good bowling, but this is maybe the 4th or 5th attempted cut or dab we've seen from Stacey, and Adams has just not. She's just not getting that timing and that connection. Driven down the ground this time to long off, picking up the single, rotating the strike. Any predictions at this time, Clyde? Or are you just gonna just wait it out and see as the game? I think it's in the balance of this time. Oh, that's over the head of the fielder there, behind square on the leg side. That's Joseph. Afi Fletcher just helping the ball and picking up the single.
I think if you're gonna play at deliveries like that, you need to put power in it. There's no need for just you to go back and then tap a delivery that's outside the leg stump. It's already a wide. So what you need to do is try and hit that harder and not just look to work it on the leg side. Another single as this goes into the pad, that inside edge. So they've got another run. And certainly they're looking to rotate the strike. And that's good. I think what Windwards is doing now is what they need. They can if they can continue doing that for the next 5-6 overs, don't lose a wicket, keep picking up singles, carry the score on to 50, 55 or thereabouts, and then you've got this. You've got into a position where you can then set yourself and decide how you're gonna go after now. But I think all in all, the thing is not to lose too many wickets. You've got to bat and not lose too many wickets and keep scoring. You don't only want to occupy the crease. You want to keep rotating the strike, keep picking up the singles, looking for the odd boundaries. I think that's what they have to do.
Sensible thoughts there coming from Clyde Butts. 7 overs in the books and the score is 30 for 1. Anisa Mohammed, Trinidad skipper, into the attack, about to bowl her spin to Stacey and Adams.
I think with Anisa Mohammed and Sugrim bowling in tandem, this is the time when Trinidad and Tobago may be under a little bit of pressure. I think they're two of their better bowlers bowling, and what they don't want to do is lose wickets. So I think what they need to do is try to push around, score 4 or 5 runs and over, and you've got this game win. You don't want to be losing wickets though.
As we would have just seen them picking up the single there, the skipper dropping back both of her long on and long off at this time. And Afi Fletcher goes aerial into the straightish mid-wicket area, picking up another single. And just as you said, Clyde, just rotating the strike, and that's all they need to do. See off the experience of Anisa Mohammed.
And I was just speaking about how deep that mid-wicket out on the boundary. Yes, you may put the mid-wicket out on the boundary for Alfie Fletcher, but I think when Joseph comes in, that fielder needs to come off the boundary, maybe 5-10 yards. That's Leanne Kirby. I'm surprised that Brittany Cooper actually isn't out there, because she is probably one of the better fielders in the region. She normally fields out in the middle, so out in the deep. So maybe she's just struggling a little.
It's a great observation there, Clyde. Actually, Brittany Cooper is standing there at first slip, and which we all know is an important position. But you see Leanne Kirby doing the fielding there at the mid-wicket boundary. And this is a good over for the Windwards. They've lost no wickets and picked up about 4 runs.
Yeah, keep the rotation of the strike going. I want an Anisa Mohammed though. I don't think she has bowled as well as she's capable of. I've seen her bowl much better in tournaments. I think this tournament she just seems to be bowling a little too short sometimes, and not really being consistent with her length and line. And that could be a ploy that's going to put a lot of pressure on Trinidad and Tobago. When you've got your captain who is supposed to be your strike bowler, your best bowler, you need her to be at her best. As we see a change of bowling again.
Yes, this bowler into the attack now, Leandra Ramdeen. She's the new addition in the Trinidad squad, in the Trinidad playing 11. She didn't play in the previous match, but it's good to see she got a game here. She's going to be bowling to Afi Fletcher.
She seems to be a right arm off spinner, is that it? But that one even looks like a leg break.
Yeah, it does look so.
So, not the classical leg spin action. Seems to be a leg break as Fletcher comes down the track, pushes it out to long off and gets an easy single.
Driven nicely down there to the fielder Kirby, and we see Cooper feeling at mid-wicket, so as you said, she may be struggling. We'll try to get some more information on that if there is an injury or something, but usually
maybe just a little niggle. I thought when she was batting she was getting some treatment as well. coming down the track, going over the top. This would go out to long on as Kirby Alexander comes around, picks up, single.
So this is good. I think this is brilliant batting from the Windwards. Rotating the strike, picking up the singles. Excellent stuff. 2 runs so far in the over. Not trying to do anything silly.
Time she's out, she's gone, coming down the track, looking to hit across the line, got the leg spin, missed it completely, and is out stump. And I think that's the wicket that the Windwards would not have wanted to lose. The wicket, of course, that Trinidad and Tobago would have wanted. So Ramdeen is coming, and she's made her presence felt immediately. She is taking the wicket of Afi Fletcher, the big fish.
Yeah, it was a good innings by the skipper. Just giving it away in the end there. Good bowling by Ramdeen. The keeper boys doing the rest. It was a good partnership, Clyde. A 25-run partnership, which was good. Now we'd want to maintain that. I think they have a good foundation here, of which they can build on to chase down this total of 88. So Afi Fletcher being stumped, bowl Ramdeen for 16. New batter, would be Zyda James, the left-handed Zyda James, who has joined her team recently. She was excellent in the field. Now her brilliance is required with the bat.
We did see her in the last game playing for Windwards and looked the part, batting at number 4. She had that nice partnership with her skipper who was just out. So we'll just have to wait and see how she gets along now. Driving out on the offside, doesn't get hold of it as she would have liked. Unable to beat the field. Very good forced over from Ramdeen, in which she got the wicket of Afi Fletcher. So she has changed the game a little, and this is going to be to give Anisa Mohammed a little more chance with her bowlers, because we did see in previous games with Anisa Sugrim bowling a lot and bowling fairly tight. Now she's got that added extra spin as well. So their team is more or less made up of mostly spinners.
So 9 overs in the bag. Windward Islands 36 for 2. Run rate of 4 as they try to get to this 8 or 9 that's needed for victory. And Nisa Mohammed back into the attack, and the equation is now 53 runs needed, 52 runs needed from 65 balls. Singles will do it, you know. Singles will do it.
Singles will do it, but what happens to the balls that are not singles?
There's always the odd boundary here and there.
Oh, okay. We'll have to wait and see. But like I've said, this is the time when I think is the best part of Trinidad's bowling with their spinners on. That's their strength in terms of their bowling. And with Afi Fletcher gone, there could be a lot of pressure on the Windward Islands batting to come.
Bit of a false attempt at a shot there, as holding back that one there, Zyda.
Experience to inexperience.
Yeah.
Let's see who is going to win this battle. She's back, looking to work it on the onside, unable to get a single. Bowler comes around and field.
Nicely played.
Working this one out on the offside. It's going to go all the way into the boundary for 4, down to a third man position. Delivery outside the off stump. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Just back cut it. Just past the backward point. All the way into the boundary for 4. And here is where I think captains has to be a little bit more aggressive in their thinking, in their thoughts. If you're bowling to a new player, a young player, you've got the experience. Won't you have a slip? I am very surprised that there wasn't a slip. And we see Brittany Cooper now coming into that position. And they've got the extra fielder now on the offside as well, which is a short third man. They've got a slip, a backward point, short third man, and a cover. So it's like bowling to a 6-3 field, and that's pressure.
Just stacking that offside there, as we see the angle at which Anisa Muhammad is bowling to Zaida James. Zaida James looking equal to the task so far.
No side the off stump, she's coming forward, looking to push out on the offside. End of a fairly decent over from Anisa Muhammad. She did give away 4 runs. And
right, so here at Providence, 10 overs gone. Windward Islands are 41 for 2, chasing down Trinidad's 88 for 8. Okay, so we'll take a break right now as the teams have a drink and be back in a few.
What's the score, 48? 41. Welcome back after that short break. Windward Islands 41 for 2 after 10 overs. Certainly, it's a game that I think is in the balance. Of course, it would depend largely on how the batters bat after this break. We've all seen after breaks what happens. We tend to get a wicket. So we'll just have to wait and see how Windward's going. And with Windward's losing Afi Fletcher, these 2 batters out in the middle now would have to try and keep rotating the strike, keep working the balls around, picking up singles, picking up 2s. As I say, good evening to you, Matthew Kisoon.
Good afternoon, Clyde. Good afternoon to everyone following live streaming in the Caribbean region and around the world. Gripping contest here. After 10 overs, Trinidad and Tobago, they were 31 for 4. After 10, the Windwards 41 for 2. Certainly in a much better position to win this game. That's hit in the air down to long on for a single. Corbania Alexander's out there. But certainly in a better position, the Windwards to win this game and go up to 8 points. Why not?
Well, they still got their work cut out because, yes, you might say they're in a better position at the moment, but I think when you look at Trinidad's bowling, it's based on spinners, and these spinners have now, with their captain now coming in, who is supposed to be their best bowler. And you know something? Isn't this the first right-arm leg spinner we have seen in this competition? We don't see a lot of right-arm leg spinners in female cricket in this part of the world. But Ramdeen has come on, and I certainly think her action seems to be bowling leg spin. We don't see a lot of turn and bounce, but certainly has that action. Let's just gone over the top of long on, and this would go into the boundary now for 4. A delivery that was pitched up slow. Zeta came forward and hit over the mid-on fielder, and again, I think this is a little bit of an underestimation. You've seen a young girl come out and decide, oh, she can't hit it over the top. So you bring in the fielders, and she's accepted the challenge and hit it over mid-on and got 4 runs.
A runner ball for her so far, 8 from 8, 46 for 2 in the 11th over. Never underestimate small-looking cricketers. They time the ball well.
Going back, looking to hit this one out on the offside, misses. She was looking to play that cut shot again.
Adams has been battling her way through 11 from 30 so far, but she's still there.
They are cutting, dropped that slip, and this is going just beyond to the edge of the circle, and they're able to take that first run. So 1 run again. A delivery that was just outside the off stump. It bounced. She was looking to cut, got the top edge, flew. I think it may just have dropped in front as well. I'm not sure, but I think it did carry to Anisa Mohammed, and she was unable to hold on to it.
Went to her left. 47 for 2, 11 overs completed. But Zeta James has looked good. So far, this is her second match that she's playing in. Her brain power was tested when she wrote her CXC exams, but now she's been tested with bat in hand.
Calls for brains as well.
Ball onto bat. The captain will bowl to her now. That's nicely tucked away into the leg side to short mid-wicket for 1.
And from what little we have seen of her so far in the 2 games that she has played, she certainly looked the part. She looks like if she belongs out there. And I think that's good to see a young player coming into a squad and looking the part.
As long as she has that hunger to bat long, the 50-over tournament will also suit her well. And she can
probably
score a
better.
lot. That's right.
The 20 where she can bat for a long period of time.
Chanel Lord is over the boundary area. Something seems to be wrong with her. She's on her knees. And a little attention now given by the physio. 48 for 2, 11.1 overs. A little bit of a hold up here. If you're in the air flying, you'll get some lovely pictures of Providence. I've got some lovely aerial views of Providence. Back looking to cut. Missed a shot taken by the keeper. Lovely picture from the air. Big house and drive on the east bank of Demerara. Down the track, checks the shot, plays back to Anisa Mohammed. Smart, sensible bowler with a lot of experience under her belt. That has to come into play now with 48 for 2, the Windwards. Forward, bold. That's the end of Adams coming forward, looking to just play a little push shot. Escaped under the bat and bowled. bowled. So that's the end of Stacey Alexander. She's gone for 11 from, I think, 30 balls or 31 balls. The total now 48 for 3.
But she's played a role, really, because when you think that the skipper went in and walked the ball around and was scoring, she decided that she was not going to get out. And now that was a delivery that was full of it. She was going down the track, probably looking to get to the pitch, missed it, and was bowled. So Anisa Mohammed a strike. Windwards Islands have lost their 3rd wicket, and they will be thinking now that they still need that partnership. They need 2 people to keep rotation of the strike. You don't need to lose 2 or 3 quick wickets together. Another left-hander's gone out, so you're going to see 2 left-handers at the crease now.
Taking guard. Well, in fact, knocking the bail into the turf to mark her guard. Zayda James is 10 from 11. Mohammed has picked up her first wicket. This is Kiana Joseph, the left-hander.
Immediately gets off the mark, pushing it up to long off, gets her first run. Anisa Mohammed not being afraid to give the ball genuine flight, inviting both batters to look to come after her, go after her. Back, pushing that one out on the offside, unable to get a run. The end of a successful over from Anisa Mohammed.
12 overs gone, 49 for 3.
Still anybody's game. Still anybody's game. I don't think any of the team out there would be thinking, well, we're on top. Still anybody game. Windwards maybe think that we've got the slight edge, but as the saying goes, you lose 1, you lose 2 quick wickets, and the pressure is back on. So it's still anybody's game.
Nice gripping contest between these 2 sides. Trinidad and Tobago with 6 points. The Windwards with 4. It doesn't matter if the tournament has been decided in terms of the winner or the top 2 teams. Still play cricket and play good cricket.
Well, there's still a lot to be played for by both sides, by all the players. This is worked through the cover. This is going to go for 4 runs. That was a delivery that was slightly short. Zayda was back and punched it wide. Joseph was back and punched it wide of Brittany Cooper at extra cover, and it went into the boundary for 4. Good looking shot, and runs continue to come. You mean say that it comes at a regular pace, but every over or every other over, if you get a boundary, that's taking pressure off yourself.
Ramdeen in her 3rd over, 1 for 8 before this. That might have been pitched outside the leg stump, just outside the leg stump. But Kiana Joseph loves to hit the ball hard. I've watched her in a couple of matches batting, and she loves to hit the ball hard.
But how Ramdeen is bowling so slow, she can actually go back and wait on those deliveries. But this time she's coming forward, losing her feet and hitting it over down to long off, and she gets an easy single.
Not a bad shot. Aerial, but you've got long off and long on positioned. Always a safe shot.
Going back, pulling this one out to mid wicket. Gonna get an easy single. Ramdeen is bowling so slow that nearly every delivery you can actually go on the back foot and wait on her. She's using her feet, coming down the track, pushing it, beating in flight a little, and pushing it out to mid-off as Brittany Cooper sends a return, and they're able to get 2 runs. Good running, Good running by the batters in the middle. A little bit of a misfeel, I would think, by Brittany Cooper as she fumbled with the ball a little. Was chasing back from an extra cover position.
And the Windwards not doing badly at all as the sun visits us back at Providence.
Windward Islands batters now really putting the pressure on the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers. And if you're a betting person and you look at the last over, you would be thinking, well, I think the Windward Islands is going to win this one because the pressure seems to have just been released a little by Trinidad and Tobago bowlers.
13 overs gone, 58 for 3.
Windward Islands in the driving seat at the moment. Would you say that? Come on, Matthew. I think they
In
are.
a very good position to win this game. If 2 quick wickets fall, Mr. Butts, I'm sure you're going to have a
But
rethink.
it may be 2 boundaries as well. Well, when that 2 wicket fall, then you rethink. But
That's right.
At the moment, they are in the driving seat.
We now see Raghubar coming into the attack from the northern end of Providence. Bowling a little bit quick, forcing Kiana Joseph to play quickly. Little bit of bounce. She's an off spinner, but that would be leg break to the left-hander. Ball turning across the left-hander.
Another singer. Keeping the rotation going of the strike.
James's mom is here, giving her good support.
Looking to work this one on the onside. Doesn't get a touch as it's trickle out to short mid wicket. Keeper comes around. And back looking for the cut, going for that single that's not on. End of a good over, just 1 run from that over. Nice tight over.
59 for 3, 14 overs completed, just 3 extras so far. So they've
I think
both
both
bowled
teams
well.
have bowled and not given away a lot of extras. A little surprised that Sugrim was only given 1 over. I think
1 over for 5. Let's go through some quick bowling figures for you. Corby, 1 over for 9. Mohammed, 3 overs, 1 for 11. Alexander, 2 overs, 1 for 8. Ramarak, 3 overs for 9. Raghubar, 1 over for 1 run. Sugrim, 1 over for 5. And Ramdeen, 3 overs, 1 for 17.
and I see somebody is actually gone off the field, must not be feeling too well. Substitute has come onto the field. And the sun has come out in all its glory.
I think it's Lord who's off. Sugrim now
is
gets
back.
a second over.
She's going back and flashing. It takes the outer edges. It's going down to third man. It's not going to go into the boundary, but they'll get 2 easy runs as that flew off the edge of the bat.
And a no ball signaled by the umpire. So we'll have a free hit.
Well, she must have overstepped. And that's probably the third overstepping we have seen in the game. Vincent has come on the field. So she's on a substitute. That was a free hit, and she was going for a big hit over mid-wicket. Didn't time it as it went out to long on, and gets an easy single.
Doesn't matter, just take the free hit and do what you can with it. Hit high in the air. Corby was out there. She took a practice catch. They got the single. 63 for 3 in the 15th over. She's now come over the wicket to Zeta James. 11 from 16. Joseph is 13 from 12. She's moved up quickly to 13 from 12.
Going back, edged. Good stop in the slip from Anisa Mohammed, going to her right.
Is she a specialist slip fielder?
Seems that way. I've seen her fielding at the slip for West Indies as well, so.
.26 needed from 33 balls. Close game. Gripping good for these two sides.
Sugrum just bowling just outside that off stump, encouraging the batter to look to hit through the offside. She's going for the reverse. Doesn't time it as she falls on the pitch, looking to reverse, probably a switch hit more than anything else, looking to hit that over backward point. Doesn't time it, and it trickles out to the backward point fielder. No run.
Very ambitious indeed. Didn't get a hold of it.
This time she's going into that pull. We'll get it down to long on for that easy single. Another tight over from Trinidad and Tobago here. Things are just beginning to get a little tighter. And this is certainly going to be interesting, but as I say, I still think Windwards, Windward Islands has got this game. At least they're in front at the moment.
They are indeed. 64 for 3. 15 overs completed. Edged away, down towards the third man boundary for 4. 4 valuable runs for the Windwards here. Back, playing a forcing shot, got it off the outer edge along the ground. Down to third man for a boundary. 68 now for 3, the start of the 16th over. .16 from 21, Zeta James.
That's a nice innings here from Zeta James. Looking positive, driving her team home. Looking for the single there, just wasn't on. Being hugged by Cooper there. Nice to see the camaraderie by the ladies, Matthew.
Kamara Ragubar in our second over. Anisa Mohammed is at slip. Back, steers it out to point, looks for the single, not on.
Loud shout of no there by Zeta James, sending back her partner. And they won't want to do anything silly at this point. I think Windwards are in the driving seat looking for this victory here against Trinidad and Tobago.
Back inside her stumps, pulled away to backward square or through square leg. Ramharak is on the boundary. Picks up another 2. Very busy like player. 68 for 3. So they need 21.
$17-4 so far in the innings, Matthew. That's a really, based on what we've seen in the tournament, that's a high rate of boundaries. It's nice to see there from the ladies.
18 from 25, Zeta James. 70 for 3. 19 needed. And they've batted very well in this game. They got up to 90 against Jamaica. Zioba comes to an end. 16 gone. 70 for 3. The Windwards needing to get up to 89 to win this game. So you're a betting man. You've got your money on the Windwards, don't you? You're going to win millions.
No, I'm not a betting man. I'm not a betting man at all. I guess I don't have that risk-taking gene about me. I tend to play it a bit safer. But so far, it does look like Windwards are in the driving seat. A wonderful fighting innings here by Zeta James. I think the captain came out and she set the tone, Afi Fletcher. And Zeta James was just taking over from her. Battling here for the Windwards Island. Good stuff here by the ladies.
They've used 7 bowlers. Kirby, Mohammed, Alexander, Ramharak, Raghubar, Sugrim and Ramdeen. Just 2 fast bowlers in those 7 used. Down the track. Mistiming that ball. Hitting hard into the ground. Kiana Joseph as Ramharak is switched to the place pavilion end, over number 17 in progress. Caught behind. She was looking to flash that through the offside, got a nick, taken by the keeper. Trinidad and Tobago have struck at a very crucial point in time in this match. With the Windwards being on top, it's now 70 for 4. What a good wicket to get.
Yeah, again we see Anisa Mohammed ringing in the changes, and it worked for her almost immediately. Joseph there trying to cut that one, but only managing an edge and given out by the umpire. But I think Windwards are still in the driving seat, even though they would have just lost another wicket. New batter out to the crease. 13. Edelyn Turton coming to do battle for her team to drive home this game.
Ramharak has picked up a wicket. So 7 bowlers used by Trinidad and Tobago. Kirby bowled 1 and Alexander 2. So 3 overs from the fast bowlers. So Joseph made 13 from 14 balls. She did her little part for the Windwards, but you don't want a batting collapse now. Trinidad can come back in this game. Their spinners are not too bad at all.
They've been excellent. I think the bowling and the fielding from both teams have been excellent. Zeta James driving there, pushing Turton for that single, and they got it.
She was already committed to going for the run, that's Zeta James, and so she told Turton to hustle, come through at the bowler's end, and she got home easily when the return came in. Good run indeed.
Yeah,
She wants to get on strike. That's important.
that's very important. Quick between the wickets, pushing her partner. This time, a run rate required just a little bit over 518. Now needed from 21 balls. Well played there by Zeta James, not trying to do anything silly. Ramarak has been bowling well, so you'd want to show her that respect.
Homer went for 7, Fletcher for 16, Adams for 11, and Joseph just out for 13. That should have been a catch taken by Raghubar in the deep. That was lofted in the air. It went out to her. She came in, but when she put both hands out to take the catch, the ball went underneath. The ball went in front of her hands and dropped underneath. But she should have done better with that. They came back for 2 more runs to Zeta James. She's 20 from 28 now. And they need 16 from 19 balls.
I think she may have just took off with that one just a little bit too late there, Matthew. At this time, you see Trinidad, they're missing their best fielder, this Cooper. And it may just have had a niggle or so. She's feeling in the 30-yard circle at about the point area, not being at her usual place, patrolling the boundaries.
17 overs gone, 73 for 4.
Alright, so 13 to face as the bowling continues. Raghubar to bowl into 13. 16 runs needed now from the last 3 overs. I think we're gonna have to. Do you think Trinidad can pull a surprise, or this is fully in the favor of the batting team, Matthew?
It's Windwards' game to lose. It's Trinidad's game to win. They would have to throw it away here, Windwards. You can't be in a better position to win a game than this one. That's hit in the air over mid-on by 13. She gets a single. Give the strike to James, who's been out there for a while. She's 20 from 29, 74 for 4 in the 18th over. They need 15 from 15, a runner ball. Gives herself room, crashes it through the covers, but there is a field out there. That's Kirby.
I like the batting style there by Zeta James. Just seems to rock back and she gets down low to either pull or cut. You know, a very pugnacious batter. And this is in the air. Will it be taken? And it is taken. And that is the end of 13.
Short mid-on, not in control, looking to lift that into the onside. Top edge, flew high in the air. Catch taken by Alexander. And that's the end of 13, gone for 2 from 4. 75 now for 5 in the 18th over. Still an interesting game on. A couple of wickets have gone. And now we see Karina Noel, who didn't have a ball in the Windwards innings, coming out to do battle. 75 for 5. One delivery left to complete the 18th over. Another good wicket for Trinidad and Tobago to have picked up at this stage of the game.
It's getting close. It's getting tight. Anisa Mohammed not giving up the fight, keeping the screws on. The Trinidadian bowlers doing very well. But Zaida James is out there battling for her country. Score now 75 for 5.
14 needed from 13 balls. What's important is that James is on strike. Back pulls it around to backward square. They've taken one, they'll come back for a second. 2 easy runs here for Zaida James. (23 from 31). (77 for 5).
I love the way her Zaida James is going about this innings. How she just gets back and uses her athleticism to go down and either to pull or cut. With that last shot, she got back, got down, and used the vacant leg side area behind square on the leg side to pick up 2 runs. Just placing the ball very well.
So Noel will take strike. She'll face her first ball as we start over number 19. The captain, Anisa Mohammed, in her final over. 1 for 11 from 3 so far. Bringing the changes, ensuring her fielders are in rightful positioning. Big drive down to mid-on, looking for a single that's not on. Nicely done by Ramdeen. Mohammed to Noel. Down the track, that's lofted in the air. Over the wide mid-off area, they've taken one. They'll come back for a second. The return comes in from Alexander. They get two valuable runs.
Every single at this point, Matthew, is kind of like gold dust. Yeah, very important. But it's nice to see the Windwards Islands girls are pushing, looking for that single. Oh, and that's a wide. It's not good.
They now need 9 from 10. Badly lined by Mohammed on that occasion. She would have loved not to give that one away. Lofted in the air. Would the catch be taken? Taken by Alexander Dong on the long off position. And Karina Noel looking for the big shots. She's gone caught. Alexander off the bowling of Anisa Mohammed, the captain, 4 and make it 2. It's now 80 for the loss of 6 wickets.
Zaida James just have her head down at the moment. She seemed devastated by that shot. Very disappointed. But a great catch by the Trinidad and Tobago fielder, Alexander, coming around, ensuring that she got under the ball and taking a very nice catch, well judged catch. I think the feeling of both teams has been very good, Matthew.
Pressure on, 80 for 6. They need 9. 9 from 9, a run a ball. Etienne comes out to do battle, very experienced cricketer. Just plays sensible cricket. But what's good from a Windward standpoint is that Zaida James, 23 from 31 balls, is out there. She has to bring it home for this side. No need for the Windwards to panic. No need for them to panic.
Well, it's always easier said than done. Just dropping short of the mid-wicket fielder there. Zaida James picking up another single, which is the important thing. Her new partner, Pearl Etienne, will now face the experienced Anisa Mohammed. I think Zaida will want to calm her down, tell her not to do anything silly.
That ball went one bounce to the field on the mid-wicket boundary. She would have loved to pick up 2 there and keep the strike. 81 for 6 in the 19th over. Looking for a big shot. Just wide of the off stump. Missed it. Taken by Boyce.
I tell you, Matthew, if she had gotten hold of that, that would have been 4 through the offside. Wide delivery. Wide call there by umpire Shiv Sankar. Every run now is being cheered by the Windwards girls in the dugout area.
Run out. Etienne looked to play a ball that was pitched on the middle stump, kept low from Anisa Mohammed. A smart cricket indeed. And in playing the ball, it struck her on the pads. She was out of her ground, and beautiful work by Boyce. In the game always, removing the bails, and that's the end of Etienne run out. It's all happening here at Providence. Another wicket going down, the 7th wicket now, 82 for 7. Etienne not really contributing anything there from a Windward standpoint. It's all left up to Zayda James to bring them home. They need 7 runs from the last over. 19 overs gone, 82 for 7.
Yeah, that wasn't smart cricket at all by Pearl Etienne. I think she lost sight of the ball. She didn't know where the ball was, but was still trying to get a run, and an easy run out for the keeper because the ball stood right there at the stump. So it's all up to Zayda James now in the final over. We're down to 7 runs needed from 6 balls. Exciting stuff here, tense stuff here at Providence.
So Raghubar will bowl the final over. I'll give you some bowling figures quickly as we come down to the last 6 ball. Kirby 1 for 9. Mohammed 4 overs, 3 for 11. Bowled very well, the captain. Alexander 2 overs, 1 for 8. Let's watch Raghubar. Back, pulls that to mid-wicket. They take the single. The return comes in. It was so quick. They're going to take a second run here. Now the return comes in. And they get home. That was very close, but Zayda James, an intelligent young lady, called for the second run, took the chance to come at the striker's end, and she got home. A sliding effort, diving into her ground. Not out, says umpire Nankumar Shiv Sankar, who was in the best position to have seen that. And they get 2 streaky runs indeed.
They'll take it anywhere it comes now, Matthew. Anywhere it comes. Like dewdrops from heaven. Each run.
Let me wrap up the bowling figures for you. Alexander 2 overs, 1 for 8. Ramarak 4 overs, 1 for 12. Raghubar in her final over, 1 for 12 so far. Make that 1 for 14 now. Sugrim 2 overs for 10 runs, and Ramdeen 3 overs, 1 for 17. So Raghubar, 1 wicket under her belt. Bowling her final over, so 2 streaky runs there to take the total up to 84. They need 5 from 5.
They don't care if it's tricky at this point, Matthew. It's nice to see Zayda James just taking her time to catch her breath. Smart cricketer, as you mentioned. Oh, it's a good shot. Powerfully driven down by the ground there by Zayda, picking up the single.
Down to mid-off, deep. Not quite the long off position. She's inside the 30-yard circle now. She'll just slip out a couple of paces. Going back.
No,
Glasgow comes in to strike now. Will take her first ball.
Yeah. And we see the Trinidadians just swarming and getting on the ball. They're not going to make a mistake. They're not going to let this one slip through in any way. Glasgow's got to find a way to get Zayda back on strike. This is exciting stuff now. 4 runs now needed from 3 balls. What will happen? Who will break first?
An exciting game indeed. Very exciting. James, 27 from 34. Is coming down to have a few words with Glasgow. sharing with her the battle plan for the next delivery.
Right.
Maybe play with soft hands, whether to the leg side or the offside, and take the quick single.
Well, there's some real estate available on the leg side. Let's see if she has the skills for that. Oh.
Looking for a big heave over mid-wicket, missed the shot. Taken by the keeper. Smart bowling here by Raghubar. 1 for 14 from 3.4. 2 deliveries left. Can they get 4 runs? They've got 2 balls. What a game this has turned out to be. Trinidad and Tobago have done well in terms of the spinning department to bring this game to this stage.
They certainly have. Oh, connection there, Zayda James down the wicket, picking up the single. Fielded there in the straightish mid-wicket area by Cooper. So we're down to the last ball.
Well, if they're
2 runs needed. 3
3
runs
needed to win, but
in the last ball.
if they get 2 runs, scores will be level. We'll have a super over, won't we? Probably for the first time in the tournament, in this year's tournament. They need to get 2 to at least level the scores if Zayda James is unable to pick up a boundary.
Right, let's see what Zayda James will do. It's all in her hands for the Windward Islands. It's in the air. They're gonna look for 2. Not out, and it's one short signal there by umpire Dugan.
And you don't mess with umpire Dugan at all.
Not at all.
Always in the game.
Trinidad and Tobago are the winners.
They have won this game.
Oh, 1 short.
A really thrilling match. If your heart is not good, you would suffer a heart attack. But they've won the game by 1 run. 1 run short. Not what the doctor ordered. Everyone was looking for 2 to level the scores and go into a super over. It's not to be. The Windwards have lost this game, and really very disappointing when you look at the fact that they were ahead for most of the game. After 15-16 overs, they were still ahead, and in the end, Zayda James very disappointed in coming back for that second run. 1 run short, signaled by umpire Nigel Duguid, the very experienced international umpire, and a victory for Trinidad and Tobago, probably telling themselves they weren't sure what would have happened, but cricket is cricket, and they played well, and in the end, experience brought them home. Anisa Mohammed, good bowling, picked up 3 wickets and backed up nicely by all the other bowlers indeed, and with good feeling by Trinidad and Tobago, they've brought home a thriller, winning by 1 run here at the National Stadium at Providence.
Our heart goes out to Zayda James. We see she was distraught, being comforted there by her partner in Glasgow. She would have probably beating herself up as she ran that run short. That was just heartbreaking stuff, and you can see the expression on her face at this time. She's almost coming to maybe tears. So umpire Duguid signaling 1 run short. Just so that the viewers know, if they had not been a short run there by Zayda James, we would have had a super over, because it would have been 2 runs and the scores would have been leveled. But since it was 1 short, even though they ran for the 2, they're now 1 run short of the total. So Trinidad and Tobago winning the game by 1 run.
I think Zayda James is in tears. I have to be honest with you here. Winning by 1 run, Trinidad and Tobago here at the National Stadium at Providence. It's all over. The second match on day 4 of the CG T20 Blast. A handsome result for Trinidad and Tobago. They've moved their points up to 10 now, if I'm correct. 10 points, 2 victories, and 2 points from the washed out game, Windwards will remain on 4. So that's the result here in match number 2. Good bowling figures for you, Mohammed, picking up 3 wickets, and everyone chipping in nicely to ensure that this was certainly a thriller. Good knock from Zayda James, unbeaten on, I think, 20. I'll tell you in a moment. Zayda James. And the extras weren't that much. They both played well. They both fielded well, both sides. They didn't give away too much. But in the end, 28 from 35 balls. Zayda James with 3 boundaries left not out. And of course, the other batter would have also been unbeaten on 1 run. So that's the position here from Providence. A victory for Trinidad and Tobago by 1 run. A real thriller. Join us at 7 p.m. for the final match. Guyana versus the Leeward Islands. On behalf of the entire commentary team, let's say bye from Providence for a little while, and we'll be back for the 7 p.m. game.